Hi, Shaz here. Quite often people ask about the benefit of working with a coach because sometimes they probably can't understand the value or can't perceive the value. So I thought I'd do a quick video to share some of the benefits and the kind of value a good coach or a strategic advisor can bring. The first one is it's a fresh pair of eyes. It's a bit like reading somebody else's email or document, and for you to quite easily spot the spelling errors and mistakes and the grammatical errors, but you can't spot them in your own work. So having that fresh pair of eyes to see things that might be obvious but not obvious to you because you're too deep in running the business and you can't see the plain obvious stuff sometimes. The second one is to ask the really simple, straightforward questions. Again, because you're in the business, you complicate things so much, and sometimes you forget to focus on the real simple stuff, and it's the simple stuff that really works. Another benefit, it forces you to think, because a good coach will come in, ask you some simple questions, some challenging questions, and that's going to force you to think about your business, force you to think about different options, and force you to think about why you're doing certain things and why you aren't doing certain things. So that's a really valuable part of having a coach. Fourth, it's going to encourage you and hopefully make you defend your ideas, because you might think your ideas are the best ideas. They might be, they might not. You've got to put that to the test. But if a coach comes in and asks you to defend why you think what you're doing is the best route and the option to pursue, then if you're having to defend your ideas, again, that's going to force you to think about things more deeper and hopefully come to a better or right conclusion. And sometimes the conclusion you already come to might be the right conclusion, which I'll cover in a short while on this video. Another one, it's going to challenge you to look at your pre-existing beliefs and limitations. We all struggle with that. I had that this morning with one of my team members, and we were talking about something and in terms of new clients, and she said, I wouldn't do that. And I said, well, you're not a new client, or you're not a potential client. So the mistake we sometimes make is thinking, oh, we wouldn't do that, so why would our customers or clients? And yet you aren't your customer or your client, so don't try and be your customer or your client, and don't try and prejudge. That's just one example of some of the limitations and beliefs that we have. Another benefit is that it helps you to look at and consider ignored opportunities. There's things that you haven't thought of, that you don't know of. So there's things you know, and there's things you don't know, and there's things you don't know you don't know. So a good coach is going to help you to figure out some of those things. Another good perceived hidden benefit is if you've got a team, sometimes you're trying to share a particular idea with them and they think, oh no, not a new idea, and they might not be as open-minded to hearing it from you. Whereas if you have a coach or a strategic advisor, they can come in and say, well, how about we try this? And your team members might be more open to that than they would be if you shared it with them. Linking in with something I said earlier about defending your ideas, sometimes it's just about validating your ideas as well. So you share them with a third party and say, this is what I'm looking to do, and this is why I'm looking to do it. And just the validation, saying, yep, good, that's a good idea, it works fine, crack on. That is very good too. So it's a bit like using someone as a sounding board. A good coach will also motivate you, give you ideas, and very importantly, hold you accountable to make sure that you do what you said you would do. Because with the best intentions, we all say we're going to do certain things, and life gets in the way, other things get in the way, we don't do them. A good coach comes in, holds you accountable, says, you said you would do this by this time here, you haven't done it, why haven't you done it, and what can we do to support you to make sure that you get it done. Alongside that, they'll also share resources with you that you might not have at the minute, which is always helpful. They'll share their own network and their connections for things that you might need in your business that you don't have at the minute, which will be helpful. And very importantly, depending on the type of person you're working with, they'll have specialized knowledge that they can share with you which is going to help you to move forward. So those are some of the reasons, and this is not an exhaustive list, but these are some of the reasons why I think it's money well spent and time well spent working with a strategic advisor stroke coach, because they can add to your business and help you develop and get to your destination a lot quicker than you might do otherwise. Until next time, bye for now.